Much more for coming to the studios. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Okay, so we are going to be exploring what it means to be compassionate. We use the word all the time. We talk about being compassionate. We say, oh, I'm expressing compassion towards this person, but I'm not sure if we really understand what it means to be compassionate. So I would like you to just help establish, your understanding of what it means to be compassionate.
Okay. I'd say being compassionate just means to show love by sharing and caring for other people or for whoever we see that's in need.
The person doesn't have to be related to you. It's a stirring in your heart to do something and to love that person.
Just do something for whoever has the need for that, yes.
Okay. So it means that if I see somebody in distress or going through a challenge and I just feel, that's not being compassionate.
It's not being compassionate.
Yeah, so it has to motivate me to do something.
To act. Act by sharing what you have, with them. By caring for them. If you didn't care, you wouldn't even share, would you?
So do you have personal experiences of something you have done that was inspired by compassion?
Yes, I have a lot. Right now in my house, there's a lady who lives there with her son. She's a single mother of 5. And you can imagine how hard life would be for her. And so I have known her for quite some time. So I was worried about the situation and tried to see if I could get her a place where she would work, as a maid. But all the people I spoke with, even though they wanted a maid, but they weren't ready to take in someone who had a child. At the end of the day, I just felt I would just take her. So she lives with me, she works for me. I have another staff who, even though she has her accommodation right here in Abuja, but I thought she should be able to save her transport fare too. So she lives in my house. She comes in on Mondays and she leaves on Saturday afternoons. She goes home for the weekend, comes back like that. And there's a boy who is who was, an IDP. His family are in Jos. I got his family accommodation, and I felt he needed to have good education, probably a better life. And so I took him. He's been with me for over a year now. I didn't know him from Adam. The crisis drove them from their village to our village. I would also say there's this lady who worked for me before, got married, moved back to the village, and things weren't too good for them. So I saw her once when I traveled home. She came to see my mom as well. And I left home feeling really sad that, she was looking the way she was. She told me things were really bad. And she was the reason why we actually started our center in Jos, where we train indigent women in basic tailoring skills, And so that's it.
Can you tell us how this whole relationship with CBN started? What inspired it? How did you, come in contact with CBN?
Okay. Thank you. So, like I mentioned about that lady whom, was the reason why we started the center. I wanted her to do something, but I didn't have something at that time to give her to do, And I always believe in teaching people how to fish, not just giving them fish, because as a matter of fact, I don't even have enough fish, for myself. So that's how it started. And after her, we're able to train about 7 other women in these basic tailoring skills. And they started to churn out dresses from pieces of fabrics we had kept over the years. So many pieces you won't believe that in less than in about a year and 4 months, we had produced 1,600 pieces of dresses.
That's a lot.
For children, yes. For children ages 0 to 14 years, 1,600. Wow. So we had so many clothes that these women had produced, and I wasn't sure what to do with them now. So we now decided to just have a charity sales where people will come buy these things at giveaway prices. So in 2017, Garland Foundation had her first charity sales. So we invited different charities. And as a matter of fact, I didn't know about CBN Africa until then. So a friend said to me, I was asking friends for contacts of different charities, and she gave me the contact for CBN Africa. So amongst other charities that were there, Reverend Kalma visited and was very impressed with what he saw, and then mentioned that they were willing to partner with me, so that we could create greater impact, and so that's how the relationship started. And indeed, CBN Africa kept their promise. We got a factory space. The entire equipment in that place was provided by CBN Africa.
What would you say inspired you to, beyond the fact that you had partnered with us in some levels, you personally decided to become a partner to help other people?
Seeing the impact that CBN Africa had made, because aside from the opening of our center, there was a medical outreach in Haipang that, 2018. It created so much impact. A lot of people had ailments they'd been carrying for some for even a whole decade. They couldn't do anything about that. And then, help came to them. So that kind of inspired me to partner in the sense that, this money, someone provided the funds for that to be done. So it's important that everyone partners with an organization like CBN Africa to be able to reach out to all these other people who need help. If other people had not partnered with CBN Africa, we wouldn't have received the help that we received, yes. So other people need the help, so we all need to partner, and that's what inspired me to partner with CBN Africa.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.